Hello beautiful, welcome back to my channel and welcome to this week's new makeup releases. We are going to chat about the new makeup that's been released, announced and sneak peeked, and I am going to let you know which ones of the I'm going to let you know what I want to pick up, what I'm going to leave in the store, what I've actually created myself, and you're going to let me know down in the comments how you feel about these products. And remember, it is okay to disagree. Friends do not agree about everything, but friends are always kind and respectful. So you are always welcome to disagree about anything that's being said in these videos, as long as you're keeping it respectful and a little bit more on the grown-up adult side down in the comments. And if you haven't been here before, if this is your first video here, hello, my name is Angie. I am so happy you're here. I'm so happy you found me. I do upload quite a lot of videos every week all about makeup and beauty, and I would love to see you in my next one as well. I'm in a super good mood today, and I think most of you will know why, and if not, I will let you know in those a little bit. I did film this look. I filmed it for Instagram. I'll try and have it up as quickly as possible. I did use the Flirty Talk by Colourpop, and I used it together with the Adept and Heather Austin palette because Heather and Austin, she is a close friend of mine outside of YouTube. Like, we spent Christmas together. And this palette is about to be sold out and discontinued, so I wanted to create another look with this one on the internet before it disappears. So I will have that up on my social. I'll probably have it up here as a short as well as soon as I'm able to edit it. And I am just in a super good mood today. If you're wondering about any things that I have on my face today, I will have that in the pinned comment. And if you're wondering about any of the things that I'm going to be talking about in today's episode, that is going to be in the description box, together with some details of like prices and where you can find it and my discount code. So let me scoochie. And let's of course start talking about Singe. I am so excited to finally be able to talk to you about my very own brand, Singe Beauty, that is launching tomorrow on Saturday the 25th, noon Central Time. I will have the details down below. I will have the website down below. You can go in on the website if you want to read up more about the brand. I also have a launch video where I try to go through as much as possible of the questions that I thought people were gonna have. I did notice that I definitely missed a couple of things that people were wondering about, so I am gonna be filming a Get Ready With Me Q&A where I bring up some of the stuff that I missed touching on, basically. So we're gonna get to that in that video. So this brush set is gonna be $55 and it's gonna be available, like I said, tomorrow on the 25th. I'm only selling it as a brush set right now. I'm definitely gonna be selling it as singles in the future. I just need to get this like off the ground to be able to know like how long does everything take and everything like that before I'm able to offer them as singles as well. So in the beginning, I'm only going to be having them as a set. I'm very proud of the price point of $55 because I know myself, I'm positioning myself a little bit lower than other very high quality synthetic brush brands, and I myself am very proud about that. If you want to see more about the brushes, I will, like I said, link my video down below. If you have any questions about this that I don't bring up in the video, most of it is answered on my website. I do have a frequently asked questions. I have a section about Singe if you want to read more about that. Singe means, and this is one of the things, listen, I just want to talk about that. This is one of the things where I'm like, oh, I probably should have mentioned that. When I started this brand, the first thing that I knew I wanted to have, except like the shapes of the brushes, is that I knew I wanted to have this. Let me actually bring up this color. You can see my nails are orange. This one is yellow, and the Singe color is like in between orange and yellow, which is what I wanted. I wanted a very yellow leaning orange that is a little bit more yellow than a true orange, but it is a little bit more orange than if you hold it next to something that is a yellow. And for me, I know this color as brandgult in Swedish, which is directly translated as fire yellow, which is the name that was used, I want to say, old times in Sweden. It's like an older word to describe orange, especially in like a yellow leaning orange. And my grandmother used to refer to this color as brandgult, fire orange, and that's why I put the name. I knew I wanted to have a name that was like a little bit associated to like fire or to heat or to something like that to associate with this color. And I definitely should have mentioned that in the video, but I'm gonna let you know I was kind of high on endorphins filming that video, so I'm not surprised that I missed talking about some things. But that is why it's called Singe, to lightly sear something, because this color to me refers to like fire. So that's the thing behind that. And I also knew I didn't want to name the brand after me. Like, I didn't want the brand to have anything to do with my name. I wanted the brand to be its own thing, which it is. The brand is its own thing, it is its own business, and I'm just super excited. Thank you so much for all the kind words. Like, you have no idea how happy I have been reading all of your comments and all of your DMs and it's just been so amazing. I've been so grateful and so happy to be able to see your reactions. And don't feel bad if this isn't for you, or if you feel like this isn't something you want to buy. I will never tell you that you need to spend your own money to be supporting me. Just you being here, watching my videos, commenting, liking, that is enough. If you don't have the money to be buying new brushes, or if you don't want any new brushes, definitely just like the video, leave a comment, and I am totally fine with that. You never need to spend your money to feel like you are, you know, being kind to me or being supportive towards me. This is just me offering a product that I am very proud of, that I honestly think that you will really like if this is something that you are in the market for. So okay, I don't want to spend too much time on that, but of course, like, this is my series that I have been doing for 5 years, 6 years, 5 years, really long time. And to be able to announce, like, to be able to talk about my own brand in this series just is really fun. And I'm really excited about taking on this new product. It's been so much fun developing these products. It's been so much fun setting everything up, like with the website and with the logo and everything. And I'm just very excited to be having this super fun project and to be doing this with you. I am definitely not going to be one of those brands that releases one thing every week, not even one thing every month. I want to be very deliberate with the things that I release, because I'm picky. I'm very picky, and I want to make sure that when I release something, it's actually something that's like really good, something that I really can stand behind. But thank you so much for the kind words. Let's move on. Let's talk about other things too. Let's quickly touch on this one. This is the new Nomad Cosmetics palette. I think this is being revealed tomorrow on the 25th. Usually I always have like a video prepared to be able to show you something with the Nomad palette, but this time I haven't. And the simple reason is that I have just been flooded with work with Singe Beauty. So many things are going on the back side of everything, so I haven't been able to prepare a video. But I do have this palette. I'm just giving you a sneak peek here. I do have this palette, and it is launching, I think it's launching on the 29th, no, the 28th. It's launching around noon Eastern Standard Time on the 28th. If you're interested in this one, I do have a code with Nomad as well. My code is Angelica, in case you want to save some money, in case you're interested in this palette. I will say the palette looks absolutely gorgeous, and I will definitely be using it in some way. Maybe I can use this palette when I'm doing a get ready with me, talking more about the brushes with some questions that people have been having. If you're interested in that, I can definitely maybe use that palette then if you're interested. I will put a picture up though on my Instagram as soon as it's being revealed if you want to see how it's looking. But I wish I had time to prepare a video, but I just didn't this time. But I will say it looks very pretty, and I'm interested in seeing your like thoughts about this palette, because I really think that they did something with this one. Let's talk about this one, the McGrath Divine Bronze Collection. Okay, I talked about this last week, and I think that these were revealed, I want to say just like hours after I had either edited my video or it had gone live. But this has been now available as a picture for almost a week, and these are basically the bronzers. And I told you in last week's episode, there is no way that these are not bronzers. Like, these are going to be bronzers. That's just the way that it is. So there are going to be a couple of things in this collection. There's also going to be a blush, but I think that this blush has been available before in one of her like face palettes, but the face palette might have been limited edition, so maybe she's just like bringing this blush into a permanent collection. And then there are a bunch of bronzers. I've heard, who did I hear saying this? Don't take my word for this, but I heard someone saying that one of these bronzers have a luminous finish. I don't know why one of them would have it and not the other ones, but do keep an eye on that if that is something that you're interested in, or if that is something you're trying to avoid, just to make sure that you're not getting the wrong formula. There's also a new quad, and I don't know if these lip products are new or not, of these just re-promoted colors. I have no idea, but I think that what most people are interested in is the bronzer. I will definitely be trying this out. I will not be ordering from the Pat McGrath website, because her shipping is painfully slow for a company of her size. This is $1 billion company and her shipping is just painfully slow. So I really think that I will be better off waiting until this comes to Sephora. I think that maybe shade number 3 will be a good shade for me because it seems like a nice milky chocolate, but leaning a little warm. I have a little bit of a neutral / golden undertone, and I don't, on me, prefer things that are leaning a little bit too cool toned, either gray or pink, because I don't love how they look on me. I like something like the bronzer that I'm wearing today, which is my favorite bronzer. This is the Fenty powder bronzer in Private Island. This is I think this is a light medium bronzer with a golden undertone. And I think that this just fits my skin tone. It's just what I like. I like warm colors on me, but I do like that there are some different undertones here to choose from. So I will be trying this one out. I think the reason why I'm so interested in this, and I don't know why I think that some people are just interested in it because it's Pat McGrath, and some people really, really love everything that she does, which I 1,000,000% respect. She is an incredible makeup artist, truly an icon of our time. I have not had maybe the best luck with her eyeshadows. Not that I dislike them. I think they're really good, like, quality products. I don't necessarily think that maybe they're worth that price tag, because I can find shadows that I like more for my preferences, which I'm not the end all be all of makeup preferences, but things that I like equally or more in more inexpensive formulas. But I will say, like, her blushes, her highlighters, her foundation, her concealer, her under eye powder, they are truly beautiful, and you can truly tell that it is like a high quality, expensive formula. So for that reason, because I feel like she's doing complexion products so good, I think she is gonna kick this out of the park, and I'm just very excited to see how I feel about this bronzer, and if I have a formula that I feel is similar in my collection at maybe a lower price tag. So I'm taking one for the team, and I'm gonna let you know what I think about this one. Colourpop hasn't really been releasing that many things as of late. They've added some things to their permanent collection. They've also had a big sale last week. I think the sale is over now, but they had a really, really big sale. But now they are releasing their second collection in the Avatar: The Last Airbender universe, and this is the Legends of Korra collection. I have the palette here because I wanted to bring it out. This is the first palette, the Avatar: The Last Airbender. When Colourpop was revealing this one, I really like how this palette looks, and I had never watched the series, but this collection actually made me watch the entire series, and I love it. Even Ricardo loves it, and he's skeptic towards I'm easier to please. I'm easier to please, easier to convince than Ricardo. So when I saw this Legends of Korra, which is the continuation of Avatar: The Last Airbender, basically like what happens in the future. That's what Korra, that's what the series Korra is about. First I was thinking, isn't this the same palette? But again, now that I look at it, it's definitely different. Part of me is like, is it different enough? And the other part of me is like, how different can you really be with the theming that's around the 4 elements, you know, fire, air, water, earth. So I think that this is more of a continuation of this palette, and the more I look at them, the more I think like these are probably going to work really good together, because there are some brighter yellows in this new one to go with the mustards in this one. There is an orange to go with the red. There are some brighter greens to go with the dark. There is a dark brownie green in here that you can deepen up with. So part of me is like, is it similar? Maybe. I will say those neutral tones look very similar to me, but again, I'm the kind of person that's like, it's a bronze. And I see people who love neutrals, no, this is a bronze with a little green undertone, and I'm like, where? And I think people feel the same about the blues and the greens and the reds, and they're all the same. So I do like how it looks. It feels like it's bigger, right? Yeah, there's one extra row as well. I'm excited to see how this one looks. I do have a package heading my way from Colourpop, and I'm guessing it is the Avatar: The Last Airbender collection. Again, I don't know how busy I'm gonna be with Singe. I mean, I don't know if I'm gonna sell 5 sets or like 2,000 sets. Like, I have no idea where I'm at, but if I'm not overly stressed and not overly like buried under orders, I will do something with this because I think it looks pretty. There are also some, they say it's liquid multichromes. I'll be the judge of that. There are some liquid eyeliners. I think there are lip glosses. Fresh Kiss, wait, is it the Fresh Kiss? Oh, it's the Fresh Kiss lip creme. I hate with a burning passion the Fresh Kiss Lip Cream. It is an awful formula that smears all over your face. It bleeds, it moves, like separates on your lips. It is not a good formula. Really, really dislike that formula. So I don't think I will be using those lippies at all, I'm gonna be honest. And then there is a Super Shock highlighter in that packaging from Colourpop that I actually don't like. But maybe we'll see how the palette and the liquid like multichromes, those are the ones that draw me in. And if I'm not too busy with Singe, I will film something with this. If I am too busy with Singe, I mean, that is a good problem to have. I'll probably include this in a get ready with me or something later, because maybe like a reel, because I do think it looks pretty, but I have to see these palettes side by side to see like how similar are they, because my initial reaction was, are these not the same palette? I also do have a code with Colourpop if you want to save some money. My code is Angelica. I know you cannot use it on discounted products, and sometimes you can't use it on like bundled products as well. I get sometimes mails from people saying that my code isn't working, and it's probably because you're using it on something that's already bundled into a discounted item. But I will leave that code down below in case you are interested. I will be trying this out one way or another, but don't hold your breath for a dedicated video at this point. Let's talk about something that I actually will be purchasing, that I am excited to be trying out, and this is the new Tarte Cosmetics Maracuja Juicy Liquid Lip. This is a full coverage liquid lipstick, and I have really been enjoying the stuff that I have tried from Tarte as of late, except this one. This foundation, this is the dewiest foundation that I've ever tried in my life. It is not metallic, but it is intensely dewy. If you like a super dewy complexion and if you have dry skin, you might like this one. If not, I would not recommend that one to you. It's very dewy. But if we don't count that one, I've really been enjoying the stuff that I've been using from Tarte. So I think I will pick up one of these. One of them seems to be a little bit more of a yellowy brown nude, which is something that I really appreciate on my skin tone. It's just something that I really like. So I think I will be trying these. I don't think they're available yet. I know that the liquid highlighters are now available at Ulta in case you're interested. Oh, and also, I know I will put my Ulta link down below in case you want to shop through my link of the Ulta 21 Days of Beauty. I will say the best day for the sale is coming up on Sunday. There are so many good things. The MAC Fix Plus, the Juicy Plump Lip Plumpers, the ones in the stick from Tarte are on sale. And there's a third thing on sale as well that's just really, really good. I can't remember which one. Which are the third thing? It's this one. I'll put it here. So Sunday, keep your eyes open. I'll try and post about it if I remember in my community tab as well. But that's probably my favorite day of the sale so far. We have some new mascaras to talk about, and I will say I'm usually not the person that's super excited about mascara because I really love a false lash. I think false lashes are beautiful. It's just something that I like to wear, and I wear them almost every time that I do my makeup. But for you that really love trying out mascaras, Fenty is coming out with a Hella Thicc Volumizing Mascara. It comes both in a big size and a mini size, and I don't know when it's coming, but it is coming soon. This is a volumizing mascara, and if you know my preferences when it comes to mascara, I like a curling and lengthening mascara. I don't love as much a volumizing mascara because I feel like sometimes it just makes my lashes look like thick, and I don't love that for me. Some people do. I like a lengthening and curling mascara for me, but maybe this is something for you. There's also a lash coming out from Kylie Jenner, and this is the Kylie Cosmetics Mascara Kylash, of course. Of course it's Kylash. This is a volumized, fuller, beautiful lashes, no matter your lash type. Again, it says it's volumizing. It's not what I'm looking for in my mascara. Maybe it is for you. I'm guessing that both of these are going to be available at Ulta, and I'm sure the Fenty one is coming to Sephora too. Let's talk about a couple of indie makeup releases when it comes to palettes, because I have some stuff that I want to show you. The first one is this one from Arttitude Cosmetics. It is called the Maneater Untamed. Maneater. Is that not the name of the palettes from Tarte? I hope they checked so Tarte haven't had that copyrighted, because I would hate for them to get like a cease and desist from Tarte, because it seems like one of those things that might have been copyrighted for eyeshadow palettes, but I hope that's not the case. listen, that could totally not be the case. I think the color story of this one is really cute. It's like greens and some yellow and some pink. It's not exactly, again, I'm trying to buy as little as possible right now, and especially since I am in the beginning of trying to launch this new endeavor that's been so much fun. I don't want to ruin the fun by overwhelming myself, but I will say it looks really pretty, and I'm fairly sure that some of my friends got this in PR. I think Nikki Raven, because I think that she's been wearing it when I've been talking to her on Polo, so she might have a video coming. And I'm fairly sure that Heather Austin talked about this one when we were in Houston as well. So check out those channels if you want to see some swatches and you want to see how it looks on. There's also a collaboration between Wicked Widow Beauty and, wait, they don't put which ones it is in collaboration with here. That is Wicked Widow Beauty and Not Your Average Babe. I think it is a collab, but she isn't tagged in here. Oh wait, she is. Wait, here. Not Your Average Babe is a clothing brand. Oh, okay, that's cool. It's not a creator, it's a clothing brand. So they're doing this palette together. It's looking a little bit Alice in Wonderland, but it's coming out around Easter, so it can be like a little Easter color story with a little bunny, but there are like the spade imprint on the shadows. I think it looks really cute. It's not exactly the kind of color story that I would go for because it is a little, it's colorful, but it's still a little bit on the muted, like it's blended with a little gray. That might be the picture also, but I do think that it looks really cute. And I haven't tried this brand, but I think, again, I think Heather and also Karen Harris has tried this brand if I'm not mistaken, and I'm fairly sure they said they enjoyed it. I can't remember. I haven't tried it myself, but again, there are definitely reviews online if you want to see what it looks like. And then another indie palette, and this is a collab with a beauty creator, and this is Micka's Beauty Shop and together with Marte's makeup. I am a 99.9% sure that Marte is Norwegian. Fairly sure that she's Norwegian. I have watched some of her videos. Marte is a pretty common, but like me coming from a Nordic country, I'm Swedish. If someone tells me that they're named Marte, I am definitely gonna say you're Norwegian. It's not like a stab in the dark. It is literally a stab in broad daylight. So I think she is Norwegian. This is the Serpent palette. I really like this. I think it looks super, super beautiful. Shimmers, mattes. I think it is a 50-50 split somewhat. It has some orange. We know I love orange. There is like a yellowy green. It seems to be some like duochromes. There's some dark shades. There's some like murky mustards. I do really like this color story. I think they did really good. Again, I have no idea. Micka's Beauty Shop. It is an indie-based brand based in France. That's cool. So if you're in Europe, this might be a cool indie brand to try, especially if you want to be supporting a fellow indie makeup lover. Let me actually double check it, Marte. Yes, Norwegian. I'm pretty good at this. So she is from Norway, so this is a Norwegian influencer collaborating with a French indie brand. So if you're in Europe, this could definitely be something for you. When is this being launched? This is going to be 65 euros. It's the 15 pan. The pre-order is available until the 21st, and then I'm guessing that they're going to open up whatever they have left as a like just a sale and not pre-order. But check out their Instagram or their website if you want to see more. I will leave a link down below. I'm fairly sure I had one more indie palette I want to talk about. Oh yeah, this one. I actually have two more indie palettes. Listen, indie brands are like going all in, and this one is from Bella Beauté Bar. We have finally been able to see the inside of the palette that they have been sneak peeking a bit. I have tried Bella Beauté Bar, and I really do like their brand. I love their shimmers more than I love their mattes. I think their mattes are good, but not my absolute favorite formula. This is a 36 pan eyeshadow palette, and this is a new and improved formula, which makes me really happy because, like I said, I love the shimmers. They're absolutely incredible. The mattes are good but not amazing, so I'm very, very intrigued to be seeing what has happened with the mattes, because I'm hoping that we can take them from good to like amazing or good to like really good. So this is 36 pan, which is, if you know me, a little overwhelming for me, but it all depends on how big the palette is. It all depends on how big it is. That's what she said. But it all depends on how big it is. If this is like slightly smaller pans, or if this is like full-size pans. If it is, then this can become very overwhelming. I think I saw a picture of someone holding it. We're gonna see how it looks because they did tell me that they're sending this to me in PR. I do have a code with Bella Beauté. I think, and it is Angelica because that's usually my code, and this is called the Pastel Garden, and I love a good pastel palette. I really, really do. And I love that there are pastel mattes and pastel shimmers, and then there are some more almost leaning a little on the jewel tones. But I will say, had I been the creator of this, I would have made it a little smaller because that's something that I like. But I know that there's a lot of people out there that really love big palettes, because every time I talk about me wanting a palette to be smaller, I always get comments from you saying that you actually prefer a bigger palette, so maybe this one can be for you. Again, it is lacking a little bit on the depth, but it is a pastel palette, and for me, pastel palettes are companion palettes, and that's also why I'm like, ooh, it's a little big to be a companion palette. But I really hope I like the formula, because if I do, this could be a really good companion palette. Maybe not for traveling, but for using here at home. I will say that the thing that I reach for the most when I am using an eyeshadow palette, like outside of an eyeshadow palette, is pastels. That's 9 times out of 10, if I'm reaching for something, it is pastels. So we'll see how I feel about this formula. I am very, very intrigued. The last indie palette that I'm going to talk about is the new palette from Sydney Grace. This is a more neutral palette, and it is called the... I have no idea what it's called. I literally don't know what it's called. Unbreakable Bond, that's what it's called. It says on the front. It's kind of hard to find. This is for me a kind of a palette that doesn't draw me in because it is very neutral leaning, and also, and this might be because of this picture, well, sometimes you never know. Some people have a certain aesthetic when it comes to what kind of pictures they like and how they like the lighting to be. Sometimes makeup can look so different in studio lighting, or in like your bathroom lighting, or in the sunlight, and just as some brands prefer stuff to be in different lightings, this seems a little muted, and I usually don't go for muted stories. I like my makeup to be seen and bold and vibrant. Even if I am playing with neutrals, even if I am playing with browns, I want them to be bold. And just looking at this, I don't think that this palette is going to give me that. Per usual, the Sydney Grace palettes comes in a light version and a dark version, so that the transition shades are more suited to you, like depending on if you have a lighter skin tone or darker skin tone. I would really like to see something from Sydney Grace that is not super neutral, but but this is me being selfish. I'm also saying that fully knowing that the reason that they're probably only doing neutrals or this kind of a color story is because this is what their customer wants, and this is probably what's selling the most. I'm just saying from my personal perspective, I look at this and I'm like, I know I wouldn't be using this if I were to purchase it, but I think it is available soon. I'm fairly sure I saw my friend Karen Harris do a video about this. It is coming March 27th, and it is $60, so there we go. There is a collab between Rude Cosmetics and Mentos, like the candy. I love Mentos. Mentos, you know, in Sweden there is a Mentos with licorice. Like the salty, the salmiak. I love it, love it. You will never find that in the US, but Mentos with licorice. I started salivating just thinking about it. Oh, it's so good. Me and my husband are thinking about going back to Europe in the beginning of summer because we have a new nephew that we've never met, and we have, like, of course we want to meet our families and all of that, and Mentos, licorice, and lakrisal, Djungelvrå. Oh, there's so many. Like, my bag will just be all candy going home, but I don't think it is a bad idea to do a makeup collab with Mentos, because I mean, the Mentos literally looks like little eyeshadows. If you pull them out, this looks like they've just arranged little Mentos in an eyeshadow palette. I personally think the collection is a little bit too big. There are like poofs and highlighters and brushes, and I don't think any of that looks as cute as the eyeshadow palettes do. With that being said, the bottom row of both eyeshadow palettes seem to be pressed glitters, and that is not for me. I don't use glitters enough to want to have a full row of them in my palettes. I usually, like, if it's like 1 or 2 pressed glitters in a palette, I'll make note of it, but I probably won't use it. But when there's a full row, that's a third of the palette. That's a formula that I don't prefer myself. So for that reason, I'm opting out, but I'm fairly sure that Rude Cosmetics is an affordable brand. So if you're interested in this, I will link it down below. I will say a lot of people were raising an eyebrow, and if I didn't have Botox, I'd do it too, over this new release from e.l.f. And this is the e.l.f. Power Grip Slimer. Because I was like, listen, where are we now in the gimmicky makeup that we're making primers into slime? What are you gonna do? Like, just roll it on your face? But then you had to read the fine print. Here's the thing. Sometimes when people judge things, they judge them just based on their first impression and they never read the text. But I did read the text, so I did a little bit change my mind about it. And this is a limited edition slime toy to help you unwind and add sticky fun to your day. And I also will say, e.l.f. themselves says this is not a primer. This is not to be used on your eyes, lips, or face. It is perfect for playing and de-stressing. And this is, according to them, marketed as merch. It's a merch with a purpose. We are making a $100,000 donation benefiting Wales organization, and proceeds of the Sticky Shop merch up to $25,000 to benefit this important cause. And I do think that that is really cool. So if you buy, you'll be able to get the donation up to $125,000. I also will say, trying to benefit the ocean by releasing more plastic is a choice. I don't 100% understand that, but I also do think that sometimes we do need to be doing these gimmicky things to make people donate. But maybe they could have just released the primer with limited edition packaging instead, so that like there actually was a double purpose. But again, that's just me. I mean, that packaging also has like plastic on it, and it also could be me not getting into like slime. I'm not part of the slime community. I don't use slime. I don't need de-stressing with like fidgeting something. That's not what I need for de-stressing. So it could also be me not seeing a purpose with this. If you use slime for de-stressing, you probably feel totally different. But I just wanted to throw it out there that it is available. It's definitely not something I need. This is a sneak peek. This is also an indie eyeshadow palette of an upcoming palette from Glaminatrix Cosmetics. It is called Into the Night. I really like Glaminatrix Cosmetics, and if you watched my ranking that I did in, I want to say beginning of February, end of February, I don't know. I did a ranking, and I ranked the palette that they had, the Glamorous palette, really high because I think it is a beautiful formula. So I'm very intrigued by this one. It seems like a 8-pan. Is it an 8-pan? It might be an 8-pan, but I'm intrigued to see what this is. We will definitely talk about it once I know more about it. But initial impression is that I am intrigued because I do like the formula. Oh, also let's talk about the fact that Kaleidos is discontinuing the Futurism palettes. I don't know 100% why, but sometimes brands do need to be discontinuing stuff to be getting into new stuff. Like they can't have like a million SKUs on their web shop. It's just too expensive to keep everything in stock. So they are discontinuing the Futurism collection, and they're doing it because they're having like visions for the future. These are on sale right now, so I will link them down below in case there were some of these that you wanted to snag up. My favorite is the Astro Pink one. I think it's absolutely amazing, and if you want to snag these, this is your final call. They are about to be discontinued. There are some new lip products from Makeup by Mario coming. This is the MoistureGlow Plumping Lip Color. These are $24 each in 13 different shades. They're coming March 23rd, which is that today? Okay, they're available now. Initial impression, you're just seeing one swatch on the lips here, but if you go in the link down below, you'll be able to see them swatched on, all the colors being swatched on the lips. They look very, I don't want to say goopy because that's not the right word, but they look like they're gonna be messy. But they just put on a thick layer. It just looks like it's gonna, you know, slip out of your lip or whoop, like just be all over your cheeks. So I don't love how they look on the lips in the swatch picture, but I'm guessing that's not how it's gonna feel like or look when you have them on the lips. I probably will end up picking one of these up to try them out, but I will say the way that they are swatched on the lips doesn't really, that's not what's selling it to me. The thing that's selling it to me is that I really like the MoistureGlow in a stick. If I didn't like the MoistureGlow in a stick and I saw these swatch pictures, I probably would be like, let me pass on this one. There is also a collab between Doll 10 Beauty and Jen Phelps Beauty. Jen has a really good channel talking mostly I think about like dupes and new makeup if you're interested in seeing stuff like that. And they're having a 5-piece brush collection, and these have really pretty marbled handles. There are, I think, 3 eye brushes and 2 face brushes. The case and the handles look really pretty, so big congratulations to you, Jen, for your collab. I hope you're having a lot of success with it. There are some new things coming from Half Magic Beauty as well, and these are already available. I will link them down below. This is the Magic Nude collection. Basically, they are releasing some of the products that they already have in more neutral colors. If you wanted to try Half Magic Beauty but you thought that maybe some of the colors that they've been offering were a little bit too kooky for you, because it is more of an it's a little bit more of a fun brand, quote unquote, according to me, like a little bit more on the colorful side, but I really do love their formulas, so this could be a nice way of trying it out. They're also coming out with a new product that is a glitter puck fairy dust for eyes, lips, and body. It seems to be one of those, like, I'm guessing cream or maybe cream to powder in like a little pot. It looks pretty. You can also now find Half Magic Beauty at Beauty Bay. I will link that as well down below in case you are not living in the US and it could be easier for you to shop from Beauty Bay, and I think that's really cool. I do get some PR from Half Magic Beauty, and if I get these, I'll be checking them out for sure. Like I said, I really do like the products that they've been using. I'm even wearing a Half Magic blush today, and I'm also wearing a Half Magic brow gel today. I think that this brand actually does really, really good, high quality products. There is also a new product coming from a brand that I have never tried, and this is from Freck Beauty, and this is the Face Hack Precision Sculpting Bronzer. It seems to be a cream bronzer in like a little stick that you like twist up on the side. I kind of like the packaging. I think the packaging looks really cute. I think the shade range looks really promising as well. I don't know if this is going to be one of those things that I try out. I feel like if I see really good reviews of this, I might be trying it out in the future. I haven't tried Freck myself, but I know that my friend Nikki Raven really likes Freck Beauty, both the blushes and the freckle pen, if I'm not mistaken. So based on her review of the brand as a total, I wouldn't be scared to be trying this out because I think that her and I have somewhat similar taste when it comes to makeup. I don't think I'll be trying it out myself, but it is available and I will link it down below. The last thing I wanted to talk about is that the Goof Proof Brow Powder from Benefit is coming back. I don't know why they discontinued this and then brought it back. I actually used up one of these. I don't remember which shade I had, but when I look at these pictures of the girls having them in the brows, there is one that is called, I think, Warm Blonde. Warm Golden Blonde. And I think I'll be buying that one because I really like the brow powder from Benefit. And like I said, I used mine up. I wanted to repurchase, and they had discontinued it. So I think I will be buying this again, but this time I will be buying it in a lighter shade because I am enjoying wearing a lighter brow powder behind and then drawing in some extra hairs with a darker pen to get the contrast between the light and the dark, to make my brows not look too blocky. So I think I will be buying this. This is coming, oh, this isn't coming until April 13th. So I think that this will be in stock at Sephora just in time for the Sephora VIB sale that is happening in April. So I probably will be purchasing it then. I just wanted to let you know that that one is coming back if you, like me, really enjoy that formula. Let me see if there's anything new that I want to talk about or if we are done. It seems like I have talked about everything. That was it. Let me scooch back. Again, thank you so much for all the kind words about my own launch with Singe. Even if you, like I said, even if you decide to not purchase, if you want to wait for reviews, or if you think that this is not a product for you, I truly appreciate the support and the kind words. It really comforts me to know that there are people out there that are still able to just be happy for someone else. I will say in this day and age, it's not too common, which is honestly sad that you think about it. But thank you again for being here. If you want to see more videos, don't forget to subscribe. I will have a video on Monday, but I will say that's the last video that I have pre-filmed. So if nothing else shows up next week after Monday until next, I will have a new makeup releases on Friday. But if there's no videos in between, it's because I'm busy. I'm doing the best I can. Of course, I'm not giving up YouTube. I will definitely still be uploading. I love YouTube. I'm just very excited about having another fun project to be doing. So I hope you're having a good weekend, and I will see you again on Monday. Bye!